Hey friends, Miranda Vivanco here, and in today's episode on Cooking with Essential Oils, we are going to make a chewy ginger molasses cookie for the Christmas holiday featuring doTERRA essential oils. Before we get started, if you like this type of content, give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell notifications. That way you get notified every time we put out a new video. Also, remember to download your recipe book at cookwithoils.com. Plus, I'll leave that link in the description. Okay, let's get started. All right, so we're gonna be making the chewy ginger molasses cookies, one of my favorite cookies for all the holiday season. It's gonna be kind of simple, kind of fast, but it does take a little bit of time because this dough actually needs to refrigerate. In this chewy ginger molasses cookie, we are gonna be using 3 essential oils. One of them is the clove bud, another one is the ginger, and the last one is the cinnamon bark. All 3 put together make a really nice bouquet of flavors that go really well with that molasses. And then we have candied ginger, so it really brings out that ginger flavor when you have the ginger essential oil in it as well. So let's get started. What we're gonna do is we're gonna be putting stuff into the mixer. Okay, we're gonna be putting 1.5 cups of butter that's softened into the mixer. And then we're gonna be putting in our sugars, and we're going to incorporate those all together. Mix them up really well before we put in all the essential oils and all the other really good ingredients. Okay, and then there's sugar. So I have 1.5 cups of softened butter. I have 1 cup of regular granulated sugar, and then 1 cup of brown sugar that I packed brown sugar. And now I'm going to mix it. Here we go. Okay, I've mixed my butter and my sugars really well, and it's a light and fluffy mix. You'll notice that the color of your mixture gets lighter the longer you mix it. And when you do that, it kind of whips the butter, which makes the cookie a little bit lighter and a little bit crumblier and a little bit tastier when it's cooking. Next, I'm gonna add in 1 egg at a time, and doing that will help mix the egg throughout it. I'm just gonna mix in 1 egg, then I'm gonna turn it off, put in the other egg, and turn it off again. All right, so I've already mixed in 1 egg, and now I'm gonna put in the 2nd egg. The first egg is in there. It's incorporated with everything really nicely. The reason you do that is so that it doesn't splatter everywhere, and that it emulsifies the egg into the cookie batter. Okay, now the eggs are incorporated. Everything looks really good. You don't want to mix it too long, just enough to get the eggs evenly throughout all of the batter, because if you overdo the eggs, then the cookies will get flat and weird. So next we're going to be putting in the molasses, and this is where I'm going to drop in the essential oils, because it makes it, since the molasses is wet, the essential oils will incorporate with the molasses and mix throughout the batter really fast and easily. We're gonna do 5 drops of ginger oil, essential oil. I love ginger. It's one of my favorite essential oils for digestion and an upset stomach. Okay, now I'm gonna do 3 drops of the cinnamon bark oil. The cinnamon bark oil, I like using the bark oil instead of the cassia because it has a more traditional cinnamon flavor that we're used to eating, where the cassia has more of a aromatic. It's better in a diffuser in my opinion. And then 1 drop of the clove oil. Now you'll notice I did 5 of the ginger or essential oil, 3 of the cinnamon bark essential oil, and 1 of the clove oil. Why is that? Because clove is much more concentrated and stronger as an essential oil than the cinnamon and ginger. However, they're all concentrated because there takes a lot of product to get these little bottles. So I can tell you that, like with the ginger, it takes 1 pound of ginger to make this bottle of oil. And with the clove bud, it takes 0.2 pounds. So you have the same bottle size, but 0.2 pounds to make 1 bottle of clove and 1 pound to make the ginger. It's a huge difference. It tells you how concentrated and how easily you can get out that oil from the ginger and from the clove bud. It's just super concentrated. And with the cinnamon, it takes 1.5 pounds of the cinnamon bark to get this little 5 milliliter bottle of oil so that you can use it. So it just tells you a little bit about how much actually goes into these and what it takes to make these little essential oil bottles. So now that I have the molasses and essential oils into the top, I'm going to add those into my batter that I already have for our chewy molasses ginger cookies. And I'm pouring it in very carefully because molasses tends to splatter everywhere. And so I'm gonna put it in the bottom before I turn on my mixer, and then I'm gonna mix it. But I know my oils are in there because my essential oils I put into the top. So they went in there first. Okay. And now I'm gonna go ahead and mix. Okay, our molasses and essential oils are now mixed into the batter, and now I'm gonna be adding in the dry ingredients. We have 4 teaspoons of baking soda, and I have 1 teaspoon of salt that I put into 4 cups of flour. And this is kind of a big overflowing bowl, so I'm gonna be putting it in very carefully. I'm gonna do it in little portions so that it mixes really well and doesn't create big clumps and take longer. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be putting in a half a cup of our diced candied ginger. I like to use the best candied ginger, which I find from Trader Joe's. So here we're gonna put that in there, and I'm just gonna mix it just to incorporate it really fast. So now everything's incorporated, and the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this dough out of the mixer, put it in a bowl, preferably a stainless steel bowl or a glass bowl, and put it in the refrigerator. It needs to refrigerate for at least 2 hours. Why? Because that helps the butter get back into a more solid state, and when it cooks, it will spread a little bit, but not too much, and it helps the cookie just set in place. So that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, so we have clove, ginger, and cinnamon bark essential oils in these cookies, and they actually taste really great, but they do so many great things within our body. 1, they're great for our gut health. 2, they're great for our immunity and our metabolism. Clove oil, remember how concentrated I told you it was? It was 0.2 pounds of clove. So just a few of those little clove, 0.2 pounds of those little cloves that you see, the whole cloves, and it makes that whole bottle. It's super concentrated, but clove is one of those oils that is just absolutely amazing for your body. It works on your gut health. It works on your respiratory health. It works with your metabolism, and it works on your nervous system. So these are powerhouse essential oils put into cookies that you're having everybody eat, and you just know that you're giving them something a little bit better than what they used to get. So we have everything rolled out. I'm gonna put these in my preheated oven. I preheated it at 350 degrees, and it's gonna cook for 8 to 10 minutes. You might wanna watch it just because they brown really fast. They are a chewy cookie, but they brown really fast on the bottom, and you wanna make sure that you don't overcook them because then they get hard and crunchy. Okay, here we go, into the oven. All right, here we go. Ginger molasses cookies for everyone. And this is one of those great cookies that you can put out for the holidays. Your family, your friends, everybody will like these if they like ginger. It's super gingery, but it's super yummy. And with the essential oils, you know that they're getting something that's not just good tasting, but kind of good for them as well. Okay, here we have a nice plate of cookies that you can put on the table or at any of your little holiday get-togethers, even if you take it to the office. Ginger molasses cookies are fantastic. Remember, we used the ginger essential oil, the clove bud essential oil, and the cinnamon bark essential oil, and they make everything taste great in here. So let's try one. That is a good cookie. Really gingery. I can taste all of the oils in it. It's fantastic. Well, that wraps up another Cooking with Essential Oils episode. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe and click the bell notifications so you never miss my weekly episodes, where I show you how to use essential oils in your everyday cooking. If you want this recipe and others like it, I'll leave the link in the description, or you can always go to cookwithoils.com and download your Cooking with Essential Oils recipe book. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll answer all of them. And remember, the best way to support my channel is to share it with a friend. Thanks again for watching. Long live essential oils.